During this brief introduction into the groups, I'm going to cover the tools that's available within groups, how to create group discussions, how to utilize groups outside of discussions, and lastly, I will take you to a sample Canvas course to show you the features. However, along the way, there will be knowledge checks and polls, and so your participation is appreciated. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so what are student groups? They are smaller versions of your course. They're used as a collaboration tool where students can work together on group projects and assignments. They also provide a platform for communication among smaller subsets of students in your online course. Accessing groups. So you begin by accessing and creating the groups within either the People's tab of your course, or you can also go into the assignments page. It'll be listed in both of those. When you go into your home page, it's usually listed right here. It'll say group set, but when you're also creating new assignments, this option will come up as you're assigning points and dates, things like that. You'll get this option, and this is where you'll set your groups. So it's pretty easy to find. So managing your groups. Once you have your group set up, you know that you have an assignment that's appropriate for group work. You're able to manage them by going into the group screen, and you can see activity that's occurring in all the different groups that you've set up. You can see all the groups you've created. You can automatically assign students to subgroups. You can assign group leaders. We'll talk about that in a little while. You can allow students to sign up for their own groups, although I would not advise on that, just because when students are self-assigning, they're able to kind of move around between groups. So it'd be nice if you can either split them up equally or you manually assign students to groups. You can move students into different groups, and you can also edit and delete the groups from the Managing Groups page. Once the students have access to a group, they'll be taken to this home page, and within each group, they can create pages, announcements, they can do collaborations, discussions, they can even have their own calendar, and once they're placed in a group, they also have access to have their private discussions where only they can see their discussion and you as the instructor, but no other students in the class can see their group discussions. The tools that are available to students within the groups, they of course have their announcements. That allows them to communicate with other group members about course activities, assignments. Group announcements are only available to group members, not the entire course. So when students places announcements, there are other students that are not within their group cannot see it. The group pages is where you can actually place in any content they want to put on that page. It's something just like a wiki. It's pretty much the same. You can edit the pages, create links to other parts of your course. You can create new pages with new content. They can add text, images, media links, other files to the pages. In the People section, students can view their group members, their teachers, also any other TAs or anyone that's enrolled in that group. They also have their discussions within the group. They can communicate amongst each other as well as create and manage their own discussion boards. It's only available to them and no one else can see what their discussions are. They also have an option where they can upload and share their files. The files can be placed in the announcements and the pages. It can be placed within the file tool. You can rename it. They can upload. There's no size limit on the files, but just be aware of the file storage that we set here. I think it's 50 megabytes. Also, files and folders are put in alphabetical order and they cannot be rearranged. You also have conferences, which is pretty much what we're doing right now. They can conference within their groups where they only can do live video, chat, and text sessions within only their group. There's also collaborations. Canvas leverages technologies like Google Docs and Etherpad that allow multiple users to work together on the same document at the same time. Collaborative documents are saved in real time, which means that if a change is made by any of its users, it will be immediately visible to everyone. An example when collaboration would be used is if the instructor asks the group members to collaborate on a paper and maybe submit it in Canvas. They can use this collaboration tool to work in real time or to have video conference or webinars with one another. Group discussions. You can turn any discussion into a group discussion. A group discussion assignment creates an identical discussion topic in each group category. So when students reply to the discussion topic, they do so only within their group environment, which is linked to the course from which the assignment was created. So I'll take you to that in a little bit to show you how that works. So just a quick knowledge check, and you can select the option on your screen. What should you be aware of if you select the option to allow students to self-assign their groups? Should you be aware of cheating, students being left out, they can roam from room to room, or does it increase their chance for a PC virus? I see you chose students being left out. Actually, our issue with students being able to self-assign is they can roam from room to room, meaning they can check out of a room and go into another room. So it's just probably best practice for you to go ahead and assign them, or let the system do an automatic assign. When they self-assign, they just can hop in and out of groups. Knowledge check number 2. These are 2 places in Canvas where you can create groups. Conferences and people, people and new assignments, modules and outcomes, outcomes and pages. Select from the options on your screen. Awesome. Yeah, B is correct. Under the people menu option, you select groups, and also when you're creating new assignments. How to change any discussion into a group discussion. Within the discussion settings, select the group set menu, and this is where you can change it into a group discussion. Only members from this group will be able to see it. Keep in mind that you will need to create group sets and groups before setting up a group discussion assignment, and that's under that People's tab. First, you want to set up your groups, and then you can go ahead and organize your group discussions. If you select a new group category in this drop-down menu, Canvas will generate a whole new group. So it's best practice to go ahead and set your groups up in advance. Moving beyond just using groups for group discussions, as an instructor, you can also create groups to set up student group configurations at the course level for assignments and in-class work, both graded and ungraded. You can facilitate semester-long projects so that the students can communicate and share documents. You can also facilitate student-run study groups within your courses. So quick knowledge check number 3. Students are able to read discussions in other groups besides their own. Correct, that is false. Group discussions are only accessible to those in that group and that instructor. Just some last few notes about group assignments. You can choose to grade group assignments for each member within the assigned grades section to each student, but group assignments do not create an identical assignment in each group category. Therefore, if the group assignment is the same for all groups, students can use the groups area to work on the assignment together using the groups tool. And then you would then choose one member to submit the group assignment, as that kind of allows you to easily give one grade for all the members. If each group has a different topic or theme, then the assignment must be created for each individual group. So when you set up the assignment, if you set it up for the groups, they're all going to get the same assignment across the group. So you just have to be aware of if you're going to give them different assignments. Make sure you can manage that. This brief introduction to groups is not a lot to it. Groups is pretty simple. So how comfortable are you in utilizing the groups feature for your next online course? All right, great. I think we're ready to go and look at the course live. And if you have any questions so far, let me know. Just interject, and I'll make sure I answer that for you. So I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see where I'm going. Okay, great. All right, so you go to People here on the left navigation menu. And then this would normally have all of the students that are enrolled in your course. This is just a sample course that we set up real quick for this webinar. But you see there's 2 online students, and we want to turn them into groups. As you can see, there's no existing groups. So we can add a group set. We can name the group online students. Student 1, just group number 1. We can split them into equal groups. So if you have 20 students and you want 4 groups of 5, that's fine. Or if you want to create them manually, for some reason there's certain students you want to put together, you can do that. So we want to put it into 2 equal groups. And you can automatically assign a group leader, or you can just set the first student to join as a group leader, or you can set a random student as a group leader. So if you want to use that feature, it's there for you. And the group leader would turn in the assignment. Okay, so here are my two groups. And they haven't been doing anything, obviously, because I just set them up. But this gives you the option to set as a leader. You can remove the group. You can go into the group's homepage and see what they've been doing, if they've been posting any announcements, any wikis, if they've been having discussions, if they've been saving files. And this is only just for this group. You can also go into their conferences. So if they've had web conferences that they recorded, you can see that. Or you can come in and have a live session with that particular group only. And then your collaborations, where if they want to work on documents together. These are pretty much your options for your groups. Now, when you go to assignments, say if you want to set up a new assignment and you want to use the groups feature, you just go to add your assignment. In this menu, when you add your assignment, this is where you'll see group assignment here. And it'll say this is a group assignment, and then you'll see your group sets here, and you can pick which group set you want. We only had 2 group sets, so it's only going to give you one option. You can also choose to assign the grades to each student individually or have 1 grade for the entire group. That's your choice. Most of the instructors do 1 grade for the entire group, and it shows up in your grade book as a group grade. Then in discussions, if you want to have group discussions, when you add a new discussion, you can simply select group discussion here, and you can pick your group section there. Where it says group set, you can select which group you want to have this particular discussion. Do you have any questions so far? All right, great. Well, I'll go ahead and get that information out to you. Thanks for joining me. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, okay? All right, have a good evening.